Lost in the Damned is a $20 downloadable content pack available exclusively on Xbox 360. Though the game takes place in Liberty City around the same time as your adventures with Nico, this is kind of considered a separate game world, so all the new gameplay additions, the new music, the new weapons, the new bikes, all that stuff is only going to be available for Lost and Damned. As far as we know, as far as Rockstar has said, you're never going to be able to import any of that stuff into GTA 4. In Lost in the Damned, you play Johnny the Jew, who is the vice president of a gang, a biker gang called The Lost. To help separate the look and feel of The Lost and Damned from GTA 4, Rockstar did a lot of stuff with the presentation. And they added this grainy filter to the game, and that's going to be seen throughout. It's really present in the cutscenes, but you know, it's there all the time, and unfortunately, that grainy look, which actually worked really well with a game like Mass Effect or Left 4 Dead, doesn't work here because it basically makes Liberty City look ugly. The story in Lost in the Damned is pretty straightforward and pretty simple. It'll probably take you about 8 hours to finish, but then there's going to be a bunch of side missions as well, so your full experience could be anywhere from 12 to 20 hours if you want to 100% the game. While a lot of the great presentation elements of a Rockstar game are here, you know, great cutscenes, great dialogue, lots of humor, the story itself just isn't very compelling, and to be quite honest, Johnny is just not an interesting character. It's not somebody that you like, he's not compelling, there's no compassion for him. Johnny is an established character, he's been in Liberty City for a long time, and in fact, as we find out, he's actually been in GTA 4, you probably just forgot about him. So there are a couple of missions actually where Nico and Johnny are together. One of them is a cool mission where you're basically doing a job for Elizabeta, where you have to go and deliver some heroin to some guys who turn out to be undercover cops. If you remember from the game, this was where Nico and Playboy met up with some guy you didn't know. The cops turned out to be bad. Nico and Playboy run up to the roof to escape. The other guy goes downstairs. Well, that other guy was Johnny. You get to play that now. You get to see Nico and Playboy run off, and then you've got to basically go downstairs to make your escape. But besides just those crossovers with Nico, there are actually a lot of peripheral things from GTA 4 that are explored in more depth in Lost in the Damned. If you remember from GTA 4, there were lots of reports of a serial killer on the loose. Well, you're going to experience firsthand how that guy got out of prison in the first place. Now, there are some great things that Rockstar did in terms of the gameplay. For one thing, they've added a bunch of new weapons. Again, you're going to have access to an auto shotgun, which is probably the best weapon in Grand Theft Auto. The auto pistol, which is also awesome, a grenade launcher, Sawnoff Shotgun, lots of cool stuff to play around with, and then also you get a bunch of new bikes. And as most people remember, GTA 4, the bikes were a little bit hard to control, easy to get thrown off a bike. Your ass is glued to the bike now for Lost in the Damned. You could do your darndest, but chances are you're not going to go off the bike. I've hit medians, I've bounced off of cars and stayed on my bike. You really have to ram something head on to get tossed off the bike. Which is great because it makes it a lot of fun to control the bikes now. They're easier to handle. And really, you never want to be in a car. That's the one great thing that Rockstar managed to pull off with Lost in the Damned, is that the bikes are so fast, so much fun to control, and not a pain in the ass in any way that really being in a car almost makes you feel boxed up, which is great because that's supposed to be your feeling as being this main character who's a biker for life. The other great thing that's added is that there are now checkpoints in between the missions. So pretty much anytime there's a cutscene that happens during a mission, that's usually going to be a checkpoint, so that if you die after that cutscene, you just start back from there again. You don't have to actually go drive all the way to the mission and then progress through one at a time, which does certainly speed up the gameplay experience, but it also cuts down on any of the frustration people might have felt playing GTA 4.
Come on, you pussies!
And of course, being a Grand Theft Auto game, there are lots of other things to do besides play the main story. There are gang wars, which are really cool. There are odd jobs that you can do. You can also steal bikes, and you can also do new kind of bike races. In the end, the Lost in the Damned just doesn't hold a candle to Grand Theft Auto 4. You know, Liberty City was a main character in GTA 4. Not so much in the Lost in the Damned. The real focus is on the biker gang, and again, those guys aren't terribly interesting. So compared to Nico's story, it's just not as compelling, but I have to say that the gameplay changes that they made are phenomenal. Just for that reason alone, you're going to want to play, check out all the new weapons, and just have a lot of fun riding on those bikes. It's too bad that you can't bring that into Nico's story, because I'd much rather just play as Nico with all these new toys. But certainly for $20, having this, you know, an 8-hour single-player story, a bunch of other stuff that you can do around town, some mini games you can play like air hockey and arm wrestling, and then, you know, on top of that having new multiplayer modes as well, new songs, new radio station. You know, it's a very complete package, and for only $20, that's actually a great deal compared to what we've seen from other downloadable content. So no, story is not quite as good as GTA 4, but there are a lot of other compelling reasons to try Lost in the Dam, so certainly I recommend picking it up when it comes out on Tuesday.
The Almighty forgives, Johnny. The lost don't.